Well, time to get some of your questions answered now. Dr. Bharat Pankhania is a senior clinical lecturer at the University of Exeter Medical School. I asked him if he felt the government was right to place Exeter in the lowest tier of the new COVID alert system, despite the high infection rates.
Well, at the moment, we have a focus of infection which is confined more to our student population, but the rest of the city is at a lower level of infections per 100,000 population. Therefore, do we conclude that we keep our city separate from our university? It's a difficult choice. I would leave it where it is, but this is the very important bit. We all have our heightened infection control measures in place. All of us, everyone in the city. That way, we will keep it at medium rather than going up and then up still.
Overall, the southwest is faring pretty well compared to the rest of the UK. What needs to happen in this region now to maintain that, bearing in mind the rapid increase in the infection rate elsewhere in the country?
Yes, so now is the time, and it always has been, that we keep our connections with other groups of people to an absolute minimum. So the science is telling us several times over that it is your interactions with other groups of people, not your own bubble, but when you go to, for example, to a restaurant or a pub or club or other activities and you interact with other people, we think that that could be a focus for picking up infections. Very difficult to prove, but that's what our thoughts are.
Looking at it from a scientific point of view, how would you assess the latest approach, bearing in mind we understand from the SAGE committee that there was a strong recommendation of some kind of circuit breaker, almost a complete lockdown for a short period of time. The government rejected that and has gone for this tiering approach. What do you make of that?
Neither will work unless we think long term, and we must bite the bullet and think long term. And the long term is change in behaviors. The virus's behavior is the same. It doesn't change its behavior, but we need to understand its behavior, and then we take countermeasures to counter against the virus which is waiting to infect us. So what do? We wear a mask, we wear it properly, we wash our hands, we avoid crowded places. In crowded places, we increase ventilation. If you go to a pub or restaurant, we must now switch off the music. We talk in a lower voice. We don't sing, we don't make a lot of noise, because it's the spray from one infectious person to another. And it's all those personal measures that if we were to take, it is a multiplier and we will get a lot better result, provided we all take our own personal measures not to get infected and not to infect others.
And where do you see this heading now, with the rate of infection going up and we're hearing about more people going into intensive care again in hospitals? How do you see the next few weeks and months panning out?
Well, the cases that are going to be generated over the next 5 to 10 days are already on their way to being generated, because they have been exposed, they're incubating, and they'll become cases. But what we can do is influence the next 3 weeks and beyond. And what we have to do is, if we were to reduce our circulation today and do all those infection control measures I have mentioned, we will start seeing results in 3 to 4 weeks' time. There is always a time lag. But really, I say, going forward many months from today, what we have to do is take personal charge. The government, this reliance on test and trace, and all those other measures that we think somebody else is going to do will not work. We've got to do it ourselves. Don't get infected, don't infect others.
Thank you, as always, for your insight, Dr. Bharat Pankhania. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.